See how good our connection is.
How about it?
I think we're live.
Absolutely.
Yep, I think we're live. What is happening, everybody? Welcome to the show. Today, we got Jarrett Beach here hanging out with us, which he does often. And in the midst of everything that we have going on today, we are going to do a live unboxing of a guitar that we were both interested in, but not because of the reasons that we're usually interested in guitars. And I think we might chat about that for a minute, because between Jarrett and myself, I mean, we have racks of high-end guitars, but this isn't necessarily one of those guitars. We are going to see what some of these budget guitars are about.
Absolutely.
This one is an Ivy, and we're going to see, because a lot of people have been online opening these. It seems like there's a ton of positive reviews about these guitars. And I think curiosity finally killed us, and we got to see if the hype is real. Like, are they opening these guitars and this is like really as good as they're saying, or is there some hype to it? Hey, we actually got someone in the chat showed up.
Yeah, like for real, man.
Amanda, what's up, man? That's so awesome. What do you think?
Well, it's like you see all these like personalities online, and you don't know whether they're just reviewing it and saying, "Oh, this is great," because somebody else said it's great, you know. But if you stack it up against like a Les Paul or like one of your Schecters, I mean, is it really what they're saying it is?
Yeah.
Or is it something that like the bones are good, and like if you put some work into it, is it going to be something you're worth having, or is it really just firewood? Like, cause you don't know.
Right. Like, I get the impression that it's probably not horrible. We're going to find out, right?
Yeah.
We're going to find out. But I'm also curious, because this is going to be aimed at such a beginner guitarist. Like, this would probably be usually someone's first guitar, like not their 16th guitar.
Yeah, for real.
And they're not typically the ones that are going to have a guitar shop downstairs already to take care of issues, where if like this had issues, we could take care of it probably, and we'll see where it goes from there. But I don't know.
Yeah, because it's like, out of all the people I've seen it, and I don't want to name any names, but it's like you see them, whether this is an Ivy, whether it's Indigo or what's the Harley Benton, any of these other guitars that are like sub $200, and it's like you never see anything negative.
Yeah, EART. It looks like a fart.
See, and then they say all about the fretwork is so amazing.
Yeah, and I want to see. I think I want to see what's going on.
This guitar is supposed to be a spalted maple top. It's a semi-hollow body Tele style, maple neck, and a mahogany body. So I mean, like on paper, like
it's phenomenal. Right?
Other than the electronics, like it's got all the things you would look for.
Yeah, it would. I'm going to get closer to the viewer here to see if we can do a couple shout outs. We got Amanda's in here checking us out. Chad, what's happening, brother? Thanks for hanging out with us. What do you think? You want to cut into this thing and open it up?
Sure, man. Let's open this thing.
Let's open it up. We're going to open it up. I'm excited. And this is how it was mailed. Like, they didn't have an outer box. Like, this is literally how it was shipped. So hopefully it's in one piece.
Be a quick unboxing of
it. Or not. Like, maybe we could really dig on it.
I'm kind of hoping it's not now. All right, so
yeah, this
it's got a gig bag, right?
It comes with a gig bag, clear gig bag.
It's got some kind of Allen keys,
tools.
Looks like that's got to be for the truss rod, and then the other one's got to be for the saddles.
I agree. In a crack baggie,
relatively light.
Oh, here we go.
Wow, that's not too bad.
It's in one piece so far. That's a good thing. Wow. That's
It's definitely mahogany.
pretty impressive right off the bat. What do the pickups say on it?
Destiny CNC wound.
Destiny wound. It's destiny that they've been wound this way.
It's a nice top. I mean, it's a veneer, obviously.
That hip shot style bridge doesn't look too bad.
Looks like it's set up for the. There's definitely a radius to it.
You say the neck looks straight?
Yeah, it's going straight now. Here. That fold's a little. Looks like it could be cleaned up, like inside there.
Oh, I thought that was a crack for a second, but that's just the way that spalted wood is right there. It's almost scary right there. Yeah. Let's see how she sounds.
That's enough.
It was in the neighborhood, maybe.
From Vietnam, I guess it's all right.
Can you guys see that all right? Try to hold that up there a little bit. Our first impression out of the box is
it's not half bad.
Pretty decent.
Let me see the tuners. Just unbranded.
I didn't feel any fret sprout on it either.
A couple sharp spots
right there, down low,
right here. Other than that, it's not too bad.
See what chat's up to. See what we. Oh, we got tons of people. Other left. Welcome to the show, Symmetry. What's up, brother? It's good to see you here. Yes, yeah, we got it out of the box right now.
Want to get a good look at it?
Yeah. Let's get you guys up here. Get a good look here. Woo! Let's kick another really expensive guitar over. So we just pulled it out. Haven't done a thing to it. Doesn't seem that bad. I'll get a scale on it.
I mean, it's semi-hollow, so it's going to be light.
But it does look like they have just about the perfect amount of relief in it, too. Boy, that's crazy. Ivy, it's got their headstock, really Fender-ish style headstock there.
Decent sized buttons on it.
I could get a scale. Look at that mother.
Feels like a decent switch.
I can hear it. That's a good sign.
Dumb knobs feel all right.
Let's see what she comes in at. It feels light. Oh, it is going to come in light. Five, six.
What, medium jumbo frets?
7 pounds. It's pretty light guitar.
Yeah. I mean, my only clue that it's a cheaper guitar is the back of the neck. It just has that look to it. But it's not.
But it doesn't feel off. And it's not quite an ultra thin C or anything. Maybe it
feels like a Strat neck to me. Definitely.
Almost a little U-ish with how thick they have that. Right there.
Pretty thick fingerboard.
It is a pretty thick fingerboard.
Maybe not. Yeah, I'm kind of impressed.
Wow, yeah.
I mean,
nothing I can rip on it right off the bat. Let's tune it up. We'll get it tuned up. See what you guys have to say. If you think anything, I'll have to watch the rest of them. Yeah, totally. This is such a weird time that we're doing it. It was the time that we had to do it together. We were trying to do something. First impression, decent. Coming out of the box. Shipped well. package good enough to show without damage?
The tuners feel nice and stiff. I mean, they're not like sloppy feeling.
Nice. We've been sitting on this one for a little bit because we had to find time that we could get together and shoot something. Then we were trying to do one with like where we were going to do editing, and then we come up with this idea of shooting one live, and it was like, man, we ought to do that and see what's going on.
I've only got a weird noise. Where am I hanging up at?
Ooh, it does have a weird
I
one.
think it's
Just kissing that.
Yeah, I think so. It's kissing something.
It is hanging on something weird.
Not sure where that's coming from.
Looks like on the saddles where they raised them up, they didn't necessarily get them like flat, totally flat. When I was looking down,
Yeah, that, you know what it is? It's that saddle vibrating.
right on. Yeah, we could probably get in there and do that one on our
It looks
own.
like, you know, for sure you're gonna have to do some setup on it. Other than that, I think this might be something we can put some work into and make it
yeah.
something decent.
What was it? 130? Is that what we had in it?
Yeah, 139.
$139 is what this guitar came in. So we know some of the reviews we'd seen, they actually had beat $100. That would be tough. This was in the 139 range.
Yeah,
Tuned? Holding tune?
other than that bottom string being kind of,
Yeah, it is. It is making a weird sound there.
and I can like
You can feel it.
like if I. Then we get a high fret somewhere.
Whew.
I bet that's exactly what that is.
Actually doesn't look like it's slammed though.
I'm looking up towards the nut. That's exactly where it's coming from. Right here.
Right there.
Yep.
Ooh, that is really close. Did they cut that nut too low?
Oh my God, yeah.
Oh, there we go. There's an issue right off the bat. That nut is not cut properly.
Yep, that's where it's at. It's right here. They're trying to slam that action down to make it look.
Yeah. So, you can see that's not one of the easiest issues at a beginner's. It's gone. It is. Oh, as soon as you found that. Yeah, and then once you see how low that nut's cut, look how low it is off the fretboard. Holy fuck.
Yeah, like they really tried to like drop that down. Because really, when you sit here and it's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me try that. Should have brought a pick with me. I come unprepared here. Very unprepared. Does this hollow ring out too much? Oh yeah, it does. A little bit. It's louder.
I'm telling you, like, see, this is what I thought would happen. Right? I kind of figured that it was we're gonna find an issue with this. Because it's just too good to be true. It's like anything else in life.
As soon as you fret that, it's over. Huh. There might be a couple strings doing that.
Maybe it just needs a nut. And I'm sure it looks like you probably slide a Tele nut right in it.
It does.
I got a Tele nut at home. I do. I got a
just have to
Graph Tech.
pop that one out.
We'll just slam a Graph Tech in it and see what it does. Other than that, I'm kind of impressed. Other than that nut cut.
There is not like a ton of fret sprout or anything. I've felt worse name brand guitars. on neck sprout where you could cut a tree down if you wanted to.
Yeah.
This is like, it's not that bad. Boy, the carve actually kind of feels, it's decent.
So what, single ply binding?
One piece.
That's one piece neck.
Maybe. One piece back body?
Possibly.
It kind of looks like it. Boy, we are hot, aren't we? Sweating all over this thing. Binding all around the body.
Single ply, man. Single.
You said you were kind of playing around with this.
Well, just feeling the electronics.
Yeah,
they don't feel terrible.
No, they don't. And they're destiny wound. The destiny wound.
Destiny winds.
Oh my God. Let's see who we got in the chat here. Symmetry's there. Other left. Chad. Basement Guitar Superstar. What's up, brother? Randy Crooks. Welcome for joining us. Exactly. Something to set. A good setup won't cure. I think we found out that we're going to probably change the nut. It's just cut incorrectly. It is down. Gear Junkie 35, brother. Word up, man. So the first impression is pretty good, but I don't think it's any type of miracle guitar that we have coming out. Like some of the reviews have just been like over the top with these budget guitars. Like they were pulling them out of the boxes and just being like, nothing wrong with them. But
yeah, definitely needs a setup. Like that's not a fast guitar right now, for sure.
Right.
Even like really, that should be about right here. $339.
Totally. So how do we think that a beginner you think a beginner would probably be pretty happy with this out of the box? They might not even notice that.
You can notice that. Come on, it sounds like a sitar.
It does sound like a sitar. I think he would hack at it for a while, though. I think he'd be okay. The setup would definitely help. They crazy cut that nut, though. Tuners felt okay?
Yeah, they're not bad.
Guess we'll have to find out and see if they're like holding tune or something here for a while. I'll get a string action gauge. Let's measure it out. We'll get a couple hard numbers out here. Let me see if I can find that fucker. Zing. I probably should have found that before we started doing this. Oh yeah.
I tell you what, if nothing else, it'll make a gorgeous piece on the wall, right?
It doesn't look bad at all.
I'm telling you that I like spalted maple, man, and that's a pretty nice looking top.
Veneer.
Yeah, it has to be veneer. There's no way that's.
I guess we could see right on the edge.
No, see, they got the binding in the F hole.
A little rough in there, but
yeah, you can see they shot the clear right over top of it. It's grabbing all that. Clean that up though. I mean, a little razor knife take care of that.
Totally. Let me put my bad eyes on the action. See what they sent that at. Holy fuck! I should have brought my glasses. I can already tell that it's on the upside down part.
It's a little high, at least to my liking.
I'm gonna say that's 2 1/4 on the bass side. Or it's a little lower there, but phew, my eyes might be failing me. 1.5 on the treble side. It's a little high for where we usually have them.
Well, I'm going to bet is that they compensate. Look how far this is wound out. Down.
Well, exactly.
I think they were compensating for that nut cut.
Yes. Let's see if we can get you guys a picture. Get closer. We're noticing that the saddles back here, they're wound all the way out. Trying to lift that action as high as they can. I don't think I can get you guys a great shot. Ooh, maybe I can. And then the nut right here where it's on the treble side, they just cut it so low. That's where we're getting our sitar sound at. So,
maybe that's what they're shooting for, man.
It could be. Wrong country, but
it did come from Vietnam.
Well, do they have sitars in Vietnam? I don't know enough of the cultures to speak intelligently on that.
I'll have to write to Amazon about that. Maybe Jeff Bezos could fill us in.
See what chat has to say. Yeah. Good spot. Yeah, the top, we really dig the look of it. I mean, it does look sharp. We dig that. And first impression just on playing, it's decent. Like we said, like quick little decent setup. I don't know that you're gonna
have, like I said, you're gonna have to replace it. No, it's cut too low.
We could add I don't know what the material we could get. I mean, we could put the super glue and try to build it back out.
I have a graphite techno.
We're gonna put a new nut in it.
There's no sense fighting it.
I don't think so.
Because I would bet. I mean, you figure this is probably a CNC cut body, and probably all these parts are going to be kind of like, I don't know, like mil spec, so to speak.
Yeah.
I mean, like you get regular Tele parts, they'll probably swap right out with it.
What do you think? You want to dig in, see what the electronics are like?
Yeah.
See how bad they soldered it? See if I'll find a screw stick.
I got a screw stick just handy right there. See it?
Oh, yeah, you do. Wow, the new Music Nomad. How you digging that?
Oh, dude, it's the greatest screwdriver I've ever owned for this kind of stuff.
So if you're just tuning in or you just happen to stop by, Jared and I were curious about the cheaper budget guitars that we've seen out there. A lot of the reviews that have been coming down the pipeline always seem to hype these up as like really decent guitars, but we kind of had to know. Again, between the two of us, we got an entourage of higher end guitars that we all enjoy, but decided to get into this just to see kind of satisfy some curiosity. Were they painted in there?
Dime size parts. It's got well, I can see one of them in the wall. Look at that. Three-way switch.
Huh. With the solders. It's workable.
It's not terrible.
It's not terrible.
It's not like opening up a high-end guitar, that's for sure. Boy, it's got a lot of room in there. Boy, it's hollow on the bottom wing too. See that? This whole bottom wing is hollow.
Whoa.
Check that out.
Whoa. It is.
Get in there, buddy.
Get in there. That's as far as it goes.
Yeah, this whole wing. It's like just the center of this.
Wow.
It's like a bolt-on neck through.
It is like a bolt-on with like little wings and stuff. So this is what we just opened up. It's got the dime size pots, your regular integrated circuit switch. Nothing too special. Not like they surprised us with any fancy stuff back here. It's kind of what you expected to get. But it feels good so far.
You know what I'm interested now?
Yeah.
I feel like, look, see the center of this? This mahogany is only, it's a cap. It's just It's a shell.
It's a shell.
And the center of this is a different wood.
So probably just where that maybe
That's ply. That's plywood.
It is plywood.
Is it? Is it, or is that just?
No, I'm seeing it as plywood, unless it's routed weird. I don't.
No, that's a cut from the wheel. I think. That's what that is. Yeah, that's not plywood. That's just from the router,
Right?
not the router, but the CNC. That's just a grooved cut. Boy, I thought it was. No, that is mahogany in the center. Look at it.
Yeah, it's the same color for sure.
Yeah, that's mahogany. It's not shielded. At least I wouldn't.
Unshielded. Well, fuck. There's nothing to shield. What could you even? It's like just all hollow in there.
Wow. See, I'm not familiar with the construction of these usually. I don't know if that's like typical that both sides. I only thought the top half
Is what I was
hollow.
expecting also.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
Pretty wild, man.
Let's give the guy 1 out of 5 on the solder job. I'm gonna give him about a 3.5 on that.
Yeah, it's pretty chunky, man.
But works, right? I mean, you didn't have any issues tuning it, so your tuner
Yeah, so
accepted everything.
Well, we'll see. We'll see if we can make this thing play the way we want it to play.
Agreed, but I think that's going to start with the nut.
Because if any kid that gets this, right, I mean, obviously they're going to have to take it to a guitar store. Somebody is going to have to do a setup on this because this is an Amazon guitar, so it didn't come from a store. Had this come through a dealer, this would have got the once over, right?
Right.
It did get that. So you figure if they're going to go somewhere, somebody's going to have to deal with this issue. And at that point, they're going to do a setup.
Right. And you can, that's just decked out right to the top right there.
Well, once we get a nut in with the right.
Boy, look how they went. I mean, boy, they weren't doing too bad till they got to the high E. I mean, I don't know if that B's too low. It's not pinging off anything, but.
Well, but I'm saying is you could easily take that action down to about there.
Right. Whoo-wee.
This is gonna be a fun one, bud.
I think it's got a little bit of work, but
it's got
not too bad. I mean, I know when I was a kid growing up, $130 did not get you a guitar.
Not even close. You were up into at least 5, at least when I came through, yeah.
For anything that was playable, for sure. Let's see what the anybody's saying on there. Randy Crooks is in the house, says Chad. Gear Junkie. Yeah.
I give it like a 7, 6.5.
I think the price brings up. I mean, that's a couple points.
All right, then we're back to the for the money thing. And
for the money.
That's like the one thing I didn't want to say. It's for the money.
Agreed. Because we didn't.
Yes, because people keep talking about these brands, and Ivy's included. Like I saw somebody they demoed like a Les Paul Ivy, a green one, right?
Yes,
and they just made it sound like. You know, like if you had them, like you could almost gig with it.
Right.
And I don't know if it's just because the people that are reviewing it don't play out and they're just like bedroom guitar heroes.
Yeah.
And if that's why, they just don't have a lot of experience that way of what you want in a guitar to do that. And this is just, oh, wow, it looks great. It does what I want. It's not all these money that a Les Paul actually is.
Right.
Or maybe they got a better one than we did.
You're right. We were kind of, it wasn't about the money so much as what did you really get? Like if someone just handed you the guitar, you had no idea how much it cost. How do you feel about it? Hanging on the wall, like you said, it looks.
It's a good looking amp.
It looks good. I mean, if you look close, you can see some rough edges underneath. But the first impression coming out was.
It's like a barroom guitar, right?
Barroom guitar.
The bar lighting just does wonders.
So do strobe lights.
So yeah, I mean, I say first I think we give it a good setup, and if we can make it play like we want, then I think maybe we should think about putting a real set of pickups in and then see what happens.
Is your amp hooked up that you can get a low sound out of it right now?
Yeah.
Let's see what the pickups are jamming out like.
Oh.
Do any of you guys out there, have you gone for the budget guitar out there? Have you dumped in for the Ivy or one of the other ones? I can't even think of what some of the other brands were at this point, but it's unreal how cheap they're coming, how cheap you can order these guitars. It doesn't sound that bad.
Not really.
Pickup. And they're pretty simple devices. But what pickup are you on right now?
That's a net pickup.
Net?
The action's just
Is that everything crank, volume crank, tone crank?
volume crank. Let's see if we will come back a little bit.
Donner Thin Line Tele is surprisingly good. Right on. We're kind of half impressed with it. We just think we need to do a little bit more of a setup on it than we got it. So what you're saying is that you got what you expected for $130. Yeah. Like we were trying to avoid the money thing, but you're right. I mean, it's not a high-end guitar by any means. Great having anyone lurking around. Ben's catalog, burnt through Phil's catalog. Oh, Gear Junkie, I've done that. I've gone through Phil's catalog. I've gone through Ben's catalog. They're fun. I've had a lot of fun with Phil's catalog. We haven't gone for the budget brands that much either here. This was a first. It was total 100% curiosity that got us to spend some money to see what they would send us. And you could see, I mean, no outer box, sent, everything arrived safely for sure. The pickups sound good to me. Like, I wouldn't complain about them.
No, I wouldn't. I mean,
Have you had to retune yet? I mean, that could be the strings getting yanked around for sure.
yeah, we're out of time.
Other left. My problem is I buy a $120 guitar and then want to put $800 worth of upgrades into it. Yeah, I hear you. Like, when do you stop?
Yeah, like that's another thing I was thinking about. So like, you got $140 in this guitar.
Yes.
I could have easily like went out and spent $150 to buy a used LTD that was like a 500 series, or
Right.
some are 400 or
Yeah.
like an MH400,
Right.
anything like that, you would have ended up with twice the guitar.
Totally.
So for the money, kind of my ass, like.
Right, and then we've tried to avoid that of saying like it's not about the money. Like again, like if someone just handed you a guitar, how do you feel about it? Like no price tags on it.
Like if this is all I got, and I'm bored and I'm sitting around, like yeah, I'm gonna noodle around on it because I want to play the guitar.
Right.
Like if I'm gonna sit there and I've got these two guys sitting next to me or those two guys sitting next to me, this one's just gonna collect dust.
I would agree. It wouldn't be the first one I grab. It might be the one I go to the park with, though.
No, I'd take
it. It kind of feels cheaper. Yeah.
I mean,
That's the wrong word.
It's I don't know.
Inexpensive?
What is it? What is it about this that doesn't feel like? I keep saying the neck, and I'm gonna say it's the neck.
The neck doesn't feel right to you.
It doesn't feel like
well, it's not a baseball bat neck. You love those.
Like it's I don't know whether it's the profile or maybe it's the edge on the fingerboard. It's something about it doesn't like spell like awesome guitar to me.
Right.
Like maybe because it looks like it's so dry. It looks like it's never been oiled ever. You know what? That's one thing about the frets is they are pretty polished.
I was just gonna check that out.
Like I noticed that when I was doing a couple bands.
The bass side ends are like fine.
Like that scrape sound, that's my finger off the fingerboard.
Right on.
Like they're pretty nice. Like as far as the finish, that's a mere finish.
Let me see that a bit. I'm gonna pull this. Is it gonna go pop out? Oh no, it won't, will it? No, not with that one. We were talking about picks the other day. You've been hooked on the green Tortex, huh?
Yeah, for my entire life.
I've been experimenting with other things too. Yeah, they don't feel bad at all.
Oh, but feel the neck. Tell me that like there's something about the neck, and maybe it's because it's so dry.
It's holding. The tuners are holding tune fair. I mean, I would say the strings are probably stretching at this point too.
That action's terrible.
It needs some work. Setup. It needs a setup. We know that. So,
like, I can guarantee you, I wouldn't buy my kids that. Like, at least not in that shape. Like, maybe, like, I'd have to.
So who's this for?
It's for a couple of assholes that want to like.
It's got to be somebody.
It is
someone that does not have much money, for sure.
Or it's somebody that's really frugal that like doesn't want to spend a lot of money.
They're gonna get what they pay for.
Yeah, but some of those people are so like smug about it that they're just in denial. You know?
Yeah.
Like maybe if you're like your only goal is to have a Tele shape with a semi-hollow body, you know.
There's some issues.
I'm interested to see what this next like once we get the strings off of it. I actually get to check like fret level. Do you think it's been plucked?
I don't think that this has been plucked.
You don't think?
No.
Might be sliding out of tune again.
Here, let me check something out. Let me check intonation.
Yeah. Let's see if anybody has anything to say. What have I walked into, Ben? I don't know, but we did a live unboxing.
It's bad, Ben.
It's what you pay for. Like, that's kind of what we were after. Not as well constructed, Randy. Yeah, they're not. It's
The low E is way out of intonation. The rest of them are pretty close. Like
Well,
my strobe tuner's like is dead set.
yeah. And the saddles are sky high. Right? You can't wait for Thursday. I expect nothing less. I expect nothing less on this channel. Yeah. This was a little bit of an experiment just to see if we could, for one, figure out the technology and have a little fun. And we also didn't want to do any editing. So we thought this would be a fun way to do it.
We have the tools. We got the talent.
We have talent. We have some tools, a dangerous amount of tools. Again, impressions are it looks good. I think that cosmetically, with the CNC machines that they're running, they're just knocking out these parts. There's just some, I don't want to say mojo or anything that's missing from it. There's just some part of the craft of building a guitar that is not in this guitar. The hands-on luthier, the hands-on guitar player kind of making it what it was. It was more like a kid in a factory was trying to cut a nut, not a guy that plays guitar all the time when he goes home.
You know, I've heard horror stories from like the 80s and 70s, like guitars, about how bad the nuts were back then, like why Kaler went down. And this seems like this is how it was.
I have picked up Jacksons like off the rack that were horrible though. Horrible. Fret sprout for sure would be like one of the first things you would notice, but not so much on here. I love you, Take. That's our thank you, Ben. How much for board to eat in? Someone's vouching for one, Glenn Borton ES 335 copy on Schmazazon for $160. No doubt. I no doubt think that some get through. Maybe we tried the Ivy, like I said.
This feels like an acoustic guitar. That's how the setup feels to me, like a run-of-the-mill acoustic. Yeah. That's how this action feels.
Well, but I think we can get that back.
I always want to know how a sitar tapped.
And we have some different people in the chat. Like, if you're having good luck with these budget guitars, there's something down in the chat. Like, we definitely want to hear it. We just wanted to definitely know that so many good reviews coming out of these. We just wanted to have one on our own hands, open it up for ourselves and see what you're getting. Needs a setup. Needs a nut.
New strings.
Maybe new strings.
Old black fingers.
Yeah. Already, huh?
No, I just took this thing out. Sure. Okay, that's
How do the tuners still feel okay?
Yeah.
You don't think they're sliding?
No, I think I'm stretching the strings.
I'm
That's what
sure.
is going on.
But you didn't break one yet.
Well, but I didn't like walk them down and stretch them out either.
Right.
Probably should have done that, but I didn't. Leaning on the thing.
Here we go. Nice.
So
Yeah. It sounds decent. It sounds good acoustically, like as you would expect that you would want to get a hollow body for. Pizza's ready, gotta run. Thanks for stopping in, Ben, checking it out.
yeah, so I don't know, dude.
You want to try to come up with some conclusions here while we put the back plate or something back together?
Yeah. Okay, so it needs a setup.
Setup.
Here's another question. Would you buy another one?
No,
No.
I wouldn't. I would not buy another one.
Don't do it. Don't.
If again, from the perspective of you already have guitars that are of a higher quality,
You know
I
what this
wouldn't watch the review from some of the other places and think that you're going to get something that's on par with what you already have.
You know what this is? This is a money pit. This is a money pit, dude. Because to get this to where I would want it, there's $200 worth of pickups at least got to go into this. New electronics, a nut, possibly tuners. So I'm looking at like $350 or more.
I think I could live with the pickups. We'd have to see if we could get that saddle to work, and then
so all right,
I think I could live with all the hardware.
so you're up to like 250.
I'm up to the nut.
All right. Okay, so I guess maybe we need to set this thing up correctly.
Set
Put a
up
new nut in
correctly.
it. You're in $50 then.
And then some time.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like if you had to take it to somebody, you're talking like $50 to $100 to have a nut put in, probably, right?
Totally. Well, no, it couldn't be that much, could it?
Well, I mean, what's the nut cost? 20 some bucks,
Yeah.
and then probably an hour's labor.
I don't know.
Well, that's what you. I mean, who charges like 10 minutes worth of labor?
Well, I've never given anybody my guitar. I've always done my own work.
Same here.
So I don't even know what they charge for guitar work anymore.
Ooh, look at how sharp that the edge of the fingerboard is there, like that square edge. That's what this thing needs. It needs. We need to like.
It needs a human touch to it.
We need to like bevel that edge, and I think then like everything I'm feeling in my hands is gonna like ease up a little bit.
Did you say you had a high fret over here? Or
No, I mean there's a sharp fret somewhere around between 12 and 17. Like if you ride your top
Right.
hand over it.
we could, yeah, you're right. We could dress those pretty quick. A quick kiss with the file. We could get rid of that.
No, but I'm thinking once you just take a little bit of sandpaper and just take that edge and just take this high edge off the whole thing and kind of round the corner.
Yeah.
And I think it'll make it like feel better.
If we were the guitar store and we had $130 into it and we wanted to hang it on the rack, sell it to somebody, at least feeling like they have something that was playable,
Yeah, but
we're gonna do that. We're gonna redo that whole nut and that action, and then I would probably rack it on there
Yeah.
and sell it as a beginner guitar.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that statement. I mean, there are redeeming qualities to it. I don't mean that. I mean, like the fact that it's mahogany, it's got a nice top.
It's way more hollowed than I thought it would be. Like both chambers are hollowed in that.
See, I have to look into that. I don't know if that's common or not. Like, I never really give it a thought. I just always assumed that if the bottom was hollow, they put an F hole there.
Yeah,
Like-
why wouldn't you?
Like that's how Les Pauls are, right?
And it's wicked light.
Yeah. So, to be continued, I guess,
I
right?
guess. To be continued. After a setup, we'll have the second impression. See how we go. See if anybody had anything to say on that one. $100, 1984, area Korea, first year out of Japan, LP clone. Yeah, if you go use, I think that was we had agreed. We agree with you what you're saying. On the used market, you could probably find a pretty decent going guitar. Next restoration, swapping bridge for sure, leaving electronics alone. Pizza time for Ben.
That sounds good.
I wonder if I'd like to measure this neck pocket and see if it would fit a Fender neck.
If it's a cloney neck that
Like if it's one of these things, like if you're into this parts caster game, like if you could get a Fender or a Squire neck if you weren't happy with this neck and slap in it, and then you might gain something by, like, say you want a spalted maple finish, but you can't get one from Squire.
right.
Maybe this is a way you could like slide yourself into one without having to pay like Warmouth prices for a spalted top.
Right.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. And I think that for having a unique guitar, you know, you could start customizing it, but beginner guitar? Yeah.
See, I feel like if you're playing this as a beginner, this thing's gonna be a hard ride.
I think you would be frustrated. I think it reminds me of the kind of crud at a different price.
That's
that
what I'm
was out
saying.
there
like,
when I was a kid.
The action, especially down here, is like very like acoustic feeling. Like you really have to like pay attention and slow down and really arch your fingers and get through it. You can't just like roll right through it.
Yeah.
Run down scales.
It just feels like it was machined out and then put together by non-guitarists.
Yeah, it's like once you get past the 12th fret, it's like this edge is really sharp.
Yeah.
Like, just the wood.
Yes.
It's a very square edge, so it's not comfy.
You're right.
So yeah,
Do we dare say get what you pay for?
that's probably what most people would say.
Is it more like I know there was no $100 guitar brand new though when I was around. I mean that's
Okay.
pretty amazing.
That being said, I'll have to give it to it that for the money.
That's what we didn't want to say.
For the money, it's better than it is honestly better than I thought it would be.
I think
But I'm
so.
not all entirely surprised with what we got sitting in front of us.
I agree.
You know,
I agree
so
100%.
that you know. So is this? That's what I'm hoping that if this is like what I would come to expect from this brand at this price point,
Yeah.
or is the $200 one
That much more.
that much better?
Right.
Like, and I can't imagine it is.
I think we're gonna have the same people in the factory
Yeah.
putting stuff together, and that's how do they not have a jig for that?
Well, he probably does, and it just tells him where to cut it. It don't tell him exactly how deep. You know what I mean? Like you have gauges that you line up on the nut, and then you have your files that you.
Right. But something that got like if there even is QC, you know, it definitely got past
Now that I'm
that.
thinking about it, like I think that's exactly what happened. They cut that thing, they knew it was wrong, so they jacked this up as high as they could get it just to get it to play.
Right.
Because any lower and that thing's not playing.
Right. I think so. So more than we thought for the money, kind of what we expected at the same time.
Aesthetics
Aesthetics
looks great.
looks phenomenal. I'm curious to see how it plays once we kind of get our hands on it and set it up the way it really should be. Get the new nut on it, adjust things, new strings maybe,
Yeah.
oil it up where it's really dry. Maybe give it a little more of a worn feel on some of the edges and stuff, and see where we're at.
That's all there needs to be said about
I
it.
think we're getting towards the end of what we thought we could get through. Let me see if any of you guys had anything to say. Time is the money. I agree more. Of all the resources that I have in my life, time is the most precious. how I spent $1,000 on a $120 guitar.
Exactly.
Other left.
Exactly.
Exactly, brother. That is exactly what that's exactly what we thought would probably come down to it. Thanks to Philip, turned countless Affinity Standard Squires into stellar players. I think the Squire might be. I mean, I don't have any of the new ones, but I've grabbed a couple Squires in the music stores, and I thought they were.
Well, dude, that was the whole point of this. That was to say, like, this is a brand that isn't a name brand.
Exactly. Yes.
So do you even waste your money on these out of country Asian brands, or do you just go back to a Squire and say, like, that's at least there's some quality control that you trust?
Yeah.
By like a major USA company.
I agree. Other left, that last comment that he said is the fun is in the journey. I think that's how we ended up having this guitar.
Yeah, definitely.
Because we wanted something to get our hands on that wasn't necessarily the crazy guitars that we have, because they don't need much anything but like the basic maintenance that you put into it. Yeah.
It's like if you get one of these, you get these from Gibson from the custom shop, and it's like it's ready to go out of the box. You don't have to touch them.
Right. Yeah.
So
all the Schecters I have, pretty minimal, easy, nothing to do but turn a couple of the wrenches at max, just to get the neck set, and then everything else was just dialing in. We did get another comment there. My first Strat is a 2003 Indonesian 22 fatty frets on a Sunburst Alnico loaded pickguard. Sounds fucking amazing, like a dream. Yeah, there's no doubt. I think once you put your time, especially if you're a hands-on guy and you're twisting the tools, things start coming into play. I think one thing I was worried about is a beginner's going to go buy this because of the price. And then what does he really end up with in his hands? Like, he might be ending up back at the guitar shop asking them to do a setup on them.
Well, yeah, exactly. And what else? The only thing that was really like impressive about this whole thing was we sat there at lunchtime on a Wednesday and decided to pull the trigger. And Thursday at noon, it was at my house.
24 hours later,
we had our guitar parked in the driveway. Like, I couldn't.
That part was crazy.
They were just.
They couldn't wait to get it in our hands.
Yeah, so A+ for that. Like,
looks. Let's go through on the looks, the way we got it. I hate the price, right? The price is stellar, but as you said, in for $1,000.
Well, that's something we need to really pay attention to the next time we visit this. Like, we have to keep a tab on what we got in this.
Agreed, but we're probably going to be as minimal as possible.
Well, but I think we need to keep track of our time, because if you're somebody that doesn't know how to do any of this is stuff that you're going to be paying somebody to do.
If we're doing it together and it's our time, we're going to fuck off so much.
Well, but I mean, just as a conservative estimate. I agree.
We can do that.
Touché.
Tuners are probably good enough. As far as we can tell, the pickups are working. They're fair. The knobs are fair. I think in that sense, we kind of got a little bit of what we expected. Let's see if we got any more. Neck rolled like frets, swap neck, middle pickups for that neck bridge in the number 2 spot. Gilmore all day. Right on, brother. It sounds like you're on the right track. Parting words? Advice? Life advice? And is there another subject you want to talk about?
Amazon is a terrible, terrible drug. And I've nobody but myself and Jeff Bezos to blame for this.
Well, at least he got up into space.
If it wasn't for this guitar, he wouldn't have made it.
That was the most.
He told me.
That was the most crazy penis and ball shaped fucking rocket I've ever seen.
I'm pretty sure Dr. Evil was involved.
It was like exactly from that movie.
Oh my god. Johnson.
Look at the Johnson. For all those that joined us live, thanks so much for coming in and checking it out. I hope you at least had a giggle, checked out the live unboxing that we had. But I think that's about all we have to say. So if you're out there, keep your head low, run in a zigzag pattern for sure.
Serpentine, baby.
Serpentine, work on your alibi so that everybody, we can work together. And we'll check you all later. Easy.
Peace out.
Let's see if I can figure out how to turn it off.
First time's
I could just unplug it, I suppose.
Yeah, it would work.
End. Well, there's end.
I think you have to click.
Stop
yeah.
immediately. Okay. There's more.
There's more.
Boom. End.